All right, lover.
Good
You see all
morning.
You see all these posts about, it's basically like relationship crap going on. You'll go on TikTok and it'll be like a guy cuddled up in his bed with his phone. And the caption will be, I wish my wife touched me as much as she touches her phone. And it'll be like you on your phone and he'll like sneak her in it. And my first thought is, do you guys not follow each other? Because if I saw you posting shit about me like that, I'd be like, really? You're just telling everyone our business? I don't touch you?
I'll touch you
and it
across
bums
the
me
face.
No, it bums me out though, because and then I think I liked one and it just kept showing me stuff and showing me stuff like just how relationships
Why'd
are
you
terrible.
like it? I'll touch you right now. Man, look at that. You see that?
Because sometimes you just like swipe or you hit the little thing but now it's all I see on TikTok is my wife doesn't do this or wish my husband did that or
But I also feel like a lot
my
of
voice
that
just cracked. Anyway.
I feel like a lot of that is because Instagram's become this woe is me, sad life stuff, which I mean, to each their own, do your thing, but you won't catch me confessing to the masses that
Like if we were fighting and I was just posting it, I was like, are these guys looking for likes?
like I'll do our fake fights.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
where we're
that's funny.
picking on each other or like our shit talking one. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, because you're always talking crap to me. But yeah, it kind of bummed me out. But then I was thinking, because remember I sent you that thing a long time ago that if I send you a video on TikTok, it'll show you the bad comments from the men only. But if you send me back the same video, it'll show me mostly the women comments hating on the dude or arguing why the guy should have to take out the trash and I was like,
Yeah.
is TikTok really destroying America?
I'm gonna say yes and no. I think social media, period, because everyone's living for approval and likes through other people instead of what's happening in their own household.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And like, don't get me wrong, I have Instagram, I have TikTok. There's some great stuff on there, but if we all stopped liking and loving and hearting and oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Instead of, okay, how about you water your grass and that way it'll be greener.
Or go to the gym or play with your kids or just.
But at that, to be honest, maybe homegirl's playing on her phone because you've been at work all day. You get breaks. You get to, scroll and be on your phone for 15, 30 minutes, an hour, however long your breaks are at work. And she's been home with 5 kids all day. I don't have 5 kids, 2 kids all day, running around, doing all the things to make your house successful and thriving. And the 1 second she sits down is the 1 second she's on her phone and you're picking her apart for it.
That we did talk about in the past because we know people, like we've had ups and downs. We've had times where we've had to sit down and I go, babe, I don't like this. Or you go, well then fix that. And I'm like, oh, okay. All right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I get you.
But you have to be okay with hearing uncomfortable things from your partner. If you can't communicate those things, I don't think any relationship will thrive. I'm lucky too that I have friends that I can kind of bounce stuff off of and they're very honest. So they'll be like, no, you're a nutball.
But you got to be careful of those friends that are jealous of your relationship and they try to, just like the classic movies. Girl, you don't like white chicks. We were just messing around watching that the other day. And there's that one friend that's always like, see, I told you he was lying. See, I told you he was cheating. Girl, just come out with me. And it's like, that girl's just trying to, but it's always the single friend or the friend that hates her husband.
Successful relationships.
Yeah, or, has the husband's constantly cheating on her or whatever. It's like, see, let's just go out and have fun. It's like, be careful of that friend too. Guys, same thing.
A lot of things too is I've even told a few of my friends that, are at a different part of life than I am or haven't been in a long-standing relationship that like we have. We've been together for 10 years, but have been friends for 14.
Look at it, and you still touch me.
That's because you just cried. You started this thing about not touching, so I'm gonna touch you. But anyway, actually it was just comfortable. But tell them the conversations that need to be had before you move in together is your finances, your expectations for when we live together. I'm this kind of clean person. I don't mind doing these, but I hate doing that. I like laundry clean, but if I fold your stuff and finish the laundry, You can put it away. You're an adult. Is yours still in the basket?
This just become about me.
Or I hate taking out the trash. I will keep shoving that thing down until it cannot fit anything more. And then I wait for him to get home to be like, oh no, babe, the trash is full.
Those hinges are gonna snap. We have one that pulls out. That thing's gonna snap. That thing can't handle 20 pounds, babe.
I mean,
but that's why I think we were kind of debating like what's the most important thing in a relationship. I think we both said communication, like because communication is even before trust. Because if you can't communicate, then trust that's not even gonna factor in. Mm-hmm. But and then everyone debates on how important is sex or this or that. I'm like, if you can't communicate,
I'll be honest,
everything falls apart from there.
100% sex matters. It matters. I don't care who you are, what you are, how many times you've done it, or how many people you've done it with. It matters because we are sexual beings. Most of us are very sexual beings. And being physically attracted to your spouse keeps the warmth in the relationship.
Ours might be a little overkill. For some people, though.
Where's that to me?
What? Ours might be a little too sudden. But sometimes you see, though, too, in relationships, and we've had this happen where one person is a lot more sexually active than the other person. Phone vibrates. But what happens, though, because it got to a point where I was like, babe, why don't we do this anymore? Why don't we do more of that? Like, I'd make little jokes and like you were catching on, and then you turned around, you turned around one day and you were like, I'm tired. Kids are peeing on themselves. Kira just threw up. Kane's hungry. Had to do this, had to do that. I smell like bleach. I'm trying to keep and I come home like, hey.
After working 8 to 10 hours.
Had a good day, and I'm like, oh, let's go home and then I'm bugging you all night and you're like, get the kids to sleep with me.
Yeah.
Pick some stuff up, put your laundry away. Like, I'm not attracted to you just because you've been at work all day, out of the house, not listening to screaming kids, and you come home and you're in the mood. And I was like, you know what?
Well,
you're right. Okay.
I grew up in a household that was very like minimal touching, minimal affirmations. We knew it was the telltale. How do you say that?
Telltale?
I don't know. The thing that people say is, you should know I love you.
You gotta show it, though. This isn't 1950s, our grandparents who sleep in separate beds.
I grew up with a military dad and a really strict Asian mom.
They might have been like son-in-law.
Oh, you have
separate
A+?
beds.
Okay, you can have hug now.
Yeah.
Or my corners of my beds were folded and you can bounce a quarter off of it. Good job.
Get a little
pat on the back.
Yeah.
Now go help your brother. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
But I think for that, growing up in that environment, and I know my parents love me, everything's great, they're amazing grandparents. It's just when you are taught that way, you don't translate it back, and it becomes a harder thing to break or habit to break, is to be touched all the time. Like this used to bug me.
But here's the thing, though.
And then
no, now that I think about it, we've always been very sexually active, even when we were younger.
Don't be on me like that. I'm a lady.
You were like, you like to cuddle, you like to do all that. You weren't like, don't touch me. But I will say this.
PDA person.
But I was gonna say, I think one thing that I think you admitted a long time ago why I was attractive to you is because I didn't overly, girl, what's up? What's your name? I kind of stood back. And I was like, you go do it, what you got to do, and we'll hang out later or whatever. And then we would cuddle, but you are kind of like, I'm very touchy.
Constant need for like constant
You walk by me, I'm like, what's up, girl?
Like texting or calling me or blowing me up, because I've worked multiple jobs for a very long time. And if I can't get back to you in that second, and then you're going to beat me up for hours later, not
which
physically.
Which some dudes would do to you.
And I can't do it. So then you're just going to get okay, we're done.
Yeah.
Nice to know ya.
But see, it was nice though, because I wouldn't text you till like 10 o'clock and I'd be like, what are you doing?
That's perfect, because I didn't get off work till then.
Yeah.
Don't bug me.
I did notice you were, that's how you were.
I was going into work at that time because I didn't get out of work till
Yeah.
3.
Obviously, you weren't like this person who's like, don't touch me. We cuddled, we did all that stuff.
Yeah.
But you always have been the type of person that's like, don't ever text me. Don't call me 10 times. If I don't text you or call you back,
but it's funny,
I'm
I'm
working.
opposite with my friends. Like my girlfriends, like my friend Tim, she's probably really annoyed at me because randomly I'm like a creepy ex.
But back then, though, you probably had a bunch of dudes texting you.
Why aren't you texting me?
Yeah. But back then, though, when we were young, you probably had a bunch of dudes texting you, and you were just like, all right. And then I was kind of sitting in the back, like I'd text you once, and I would just wait. Didn't hear back from you.
Yeah.
You would call me the next day and be like, I was working. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah. See?
Yeah. Because you don't want people like that in your life either.
Yeah.
But when you get older, back to the whole, these relationships that are falling apart because guys aren't getting sex and people are not touching each other or talking or communicating.
Yeah.
I do think that these phones can get in the way because after 9 p.m. or even when I get home, I try not to pick up my phone as much.
Yeah, pretty much when we
I
put our
try not to let
kids
the
down.
kids see me on the phone. I try, like if you're talking to me, like I'll try to just,
Yeah,
I used to be like, yeah, babe, tell me. But now I'm like, all right, what?
We'll sit down for dinner. No one has phones. And then if for whatever reason dad has to continue working, then I'll sit with the kids and then we're talking while they eat and stuff. And then after that, for myself, it's something new that I'm trying to do. We have a red light in our room and we usually turn that on once I get the kids to go to bed. And then,
Not for weird stuff,
I mean, sometimes for worse.
but it's because it helps your, that's why you see cops that have red
rhythm.
lights in their cars. It doesn't throw off your
I'm not gonna lie.
circadian rhythm, and it kind of like white lights and blue lights in the house kind of wake you back up. And I noticed having red light, it does kind of help you fall asleep quicker. As soon as I get on my phone, I feel like I'm all awake again.
Yeah, but then it like helps me if I'm still like reading or whatever else, I can do that without it keeping me awake. But
yeah. It'd be cool to have
I do think too though, like with the whole communication thing and in a relationship where because men do have a higher sex drive and have testosterone,
You read my mind. I was gonna get into that next.
it is very important for men to, and most men are physical touch people. If you haven't read like the love languages, you should get into it if it's like becoming an issue with your partner. It actually does help. I'm a words of affirmation and acts of service person, where like I'm like a child. I clean our entire house or I move stuff around. As soon as he walks in the door, like barely gets to put his stuff down, I'm like, come see what I did. Come see. And then for him, he's like, it's been a hard day. Whack.
You're like, come tell me, and I'm just like, that's nice. Yeah.
But I do think it's important to like try to make time for your relationship, especially if you have kids, because obviously your children are important. But if you don't feed your relationship and feed each other like individually, like for yourself or like for your partner, there's sexual attraction, or you go through this almost like stagnant phase. And everyone thinks just because it's not this lustful, youthful obsession with each other that you're not okay, that your relationship's failing. And it's not that, it's just you guys are in a different place. And sometimes that sedentary stuff can actually be a relief. There's no chaos, there's no nothing. It's just, you need to find the little joys in what you have happening and just ride it out.
Yeah, and just remember to do that little stuff, because like we've had little moments here and there, or you're just not in the mood, or you're tired.
Because after we had my daughter, my hormones took a huge hit.
Hormones, I was gonna say hormones, testosterone, all that, and that can be a huge factor, especially because your hormones were like, you were literally like keeping your eyes open barely during the day. You were like, dude, there's something wrong with me. And I'm over here in the mood, and you're like, leave me alone. And I started taking it a little personal, or like you would like, just always, as soon as I get out of the shower, kids are asleep, I'd come in there and you were just out. And I was like,
3-year-old.
And you were like, dude, I'm tired. I was like, okay, well, all right.
We had a 3-year-old and a newborn. I went from.
But Kira threw your hormones for a loop.
Yeah, my son gave me life.
You had to, your testosterone was higher than mine. I couldn't keep you off me.
I gained a lot of weight with my son, so I feel like that's a lot of what helped my energy stay a little more balanced. I gained like 89 pounds with my son because I was constantly starving. I went from 122
right here
to like 200 pounds. And then With my daughter, I only gained 32 pounds, but I lost appetite with her, which was kind of weird. And then I hate corn dogs, but that was the only thing I wanted. And then after I had her,
just not mine. You didn't want me at all. You were like, get away from me. I was like,
dude, I hate corn dogs, and you just referred to it as a corn dog.
Yeah, but with our son, couldn't keep you off me. With the daughter, you were like, you smell weird. Get away from me. I was like, well, this sucks. This sucks real bad. But yeah.
You still smell weird after the gym.
But ladies, remember, your man has a thing called testosterone.
Important.
You got a little bit of that with Kane.
Yeah.
So we understood each other a little better because you were like, dude, you were working out like twice a day.
No.
You were bugging me twice a day. I was like, I can't keep up. You were like, bro, this is what it's like to have testosterone. Like, this is crazy. And then...
Why do you make me sound like Hulk Hogan?
I don't know. But I was like, see, now you know what it's like to have testosterone.
No, it does matter. So I think that having that conversation just to say, hey, I understand you're tired. Hey, what can I do to take a little bit off your plate so that you can get a little more rest and have more energy for this? And don't forget about dating each other. It is so important. It doesn't have to be this extravagant, I'm gonna go spend thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars on you to take you to dinner. Like, shit, take me to In-N-Out and let me just sit in silence for a minute.
Yeah, because like you said, you were like, you yelled at me one day. You were like, why don't you take me out more often? And I was like, well, I don't want to spend $200 every time. You were like, pack some sandwiches, take me up to our little spot near the lake. I just need to get out of this house. I was like,
well,
okay, that makes sense.
You start to go a little
and I started noticing you started getting a little more touchy on me, and you were like, just don't treat me like I'm just supposed to. Oh, am I supposed to touch you?
No, it's not that.
But yeah, so guys, don't forget to just take your girl out once in a while.
Yep.
Do some stuff. Get up a little earlier. Do the dishes. Vacuum on the weekends because that's your thing. You're a service person. If she sees me up earlier vacuuming the house because I know she's going to as soon as she wakes up on a Saturday.
Actually, if he woke up earlier than all of us and started vacuuming, I'd kill him. But he did the dishes one time. That was very nice.
Yeah, I noticed you were a little more like, hey, babe, because I started doing little stuff, picking my stuff up.
But I do also think, like, partially on myself, I wouldn't put it all on him, is because I was so tired, I was kind of letting a lot of things go that would bug me. For instance, I grew up, everything is clean and done before you go to bed, so when you wake up, you don't wake up in chaos. And with a 3-year-old...
I like to organize it in the morning. Let it sit. It ain't going nowhere.
So everything has to be done. It's not like every little thing has to be pristine and perfect, but the dishes, it can't be in the sink. I can't walk into the main living spaces with shoes and workout stuff everywhere, especially because it's the first thing you see when you walk in the house or you walk out of the bedrooms. Yeah. That bugs me. So when I see that there's so much to do, it makes me feel more like I don't have enough time.
Yeah, it makes you not in the mood when I am. So I was gonna say, ladies, don't forget your man has testosterone. Mm-hmm. They're gonna be in the mood. But at the same time, men, don't forget your wife, whether they're at work all day too, or they're at home with the kids, or maybe you haven't been picking your stuff up and they've told you 10 times, they're not really in the mood now either because they don't feel like... Don't get mad, I'm
on my phone, this is part of my point.
Yeah, because, like you told me, you were like, I feel like you don't respect me when you come home, kick your shoes off and leave this out, or don't do this, or don't put this away, and you leave it all to me, but then you want sex, and it's like, okay, I'm just your slave? Like, what do we... And I was like, all right. You're like, what if I came to your office and just destroyed things or messed things up? And I was just like, okay, I'm gonna go. You'd be like, what are you doing? Like, I don't even like you right now. Get out of here.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, it's all about communication.
Yeah.
And then you gotta straight up ask each other too. Like, can we start doing more of this? We used to do this when we were young. I kind of miss it.
And then there's also this, we had to have this conversation.
Because you kind of missed that honeymoon phase after a while.
He and I have been together for, like I said, 10 years. But
14.
We were really good friends for 4 years before that. And it was different. We didn't have responsibilities. We didn't have children. We didn't have anything to like stop us from being a little more affectionate or have more time together. But now he works full time, 2 jobs actually. And then I have 2 kids that I'm running after and we want to do all this stuff. And like I said, I like my house a certain way, especially if people want to come by. And then I want to go to the gym. And it's crazy how quickly your time dwindles away. So it's just, if you don't talk about those things,
you do have to kind of put it on a calendar. You got to text each other and be like, hey,
yeah,
I've been in the mood for like 2 days.
Yeah.
What time are you dropping this off? Or what time are you? Okay, actually that doesn't work. Help me put the kids to sleep tonight.
Yeah.
Let's get them bed early because I have stuff to do.
On the hormone thing, women go through 4 different phases every month. You guys just have testosterone as your main hormone and that's all you got to worry about. We have our luteal phase, which is like 12 to 14 days of like...
Luteal mean that's one, leave me alone?
Yes. And then menstrual cycle, Shark Week,
we got like 1 minute left,
is 3 to 7 days, depending on your average, whoever. It can be different. Then you have your follicular phase, which is like, oh, hey, how you doing? What's up, daddy? And then you got ovulation phase, which is like, hey.
Let's do hormones on the next one. Oh.
But
my fiber guy's gonna be calling in a minute. All right, we're gonna wrap this up. Hormones on the next one, and then we'll continue this. You just did a shooter, McGavin. That was cool.
Bye.